Show yourself, Jedi.
These are the top 20 coldest Star Wars entrances that broke the internet. Also, become a member to access our videos earlier than others. While the Ahsoka series failed to impress overall, the opportunity to witness Anakin Skywalker on screen once more made the entire endeavor worthwhile. Hayden Christensen famously endured immense backlash during the prequel era, yet the franchise's subsequent decline has forced a collective realization that such harsh vitriol was entirely unwarranted. In this sequence, the actual choreography takes a backseat to the sheer brilliance of the future Sith apprentice emerging through the haze. The subtle vocal modulation during his declaration, "You lack conviction," was a triumph.
Lack conviction.
Capitalizing perfectly on nostalgia to deliver a deeply satisfying payoff. It is equally brilliant to observe the distinct shift in his combat mechanics, contrasting Anakin's fluid grace with Vader's brutal heavy strikes. The appearance of the Crimson Blade only elevates the spectacle, ensuring the character secures a spot on any definitive list through the sheer power of his presence alone.
Trying to die.
There are more of us.
When all hope seems lost above Exegol, the galaxy answers the call. Outnumbered and overwhelmed by the Final Order's massive fleet, the Resistance suddenly receives an impossible reinforcement. Emerging from hyperspace, thousands of ships fill the sky, led by Lando Calrissian in the Millennium Falcon.
Lando, you did it!
The scale of the scene is breathtaking. Civilian freighters, fighters, transports, and vessels from across the galaxy arrive to stand against the Sith. What makes the entrance so powerful isn't just the spectacle, it's what it represents. For the first time, ordinary people unite to fight back.
Nice flying, Lando!
As the fleet stretches across the horizon, it becomes one of Star Wars' most triumphant and inspiring arrivals.
It's not a Navy, sir, it's just people.
Few entrances have generated as much excitement as Din Djarin's return in the Book of Boba Fett. The episode opens in a dimly lit slaughterhouse where a bounty has barricaded himself among hanging carcasses. Then, from the shadows, a familiar silhouette emerges. Clad in gleaming Beskar armor, the Mandalorian steps forward and calmly delivers his iconic line, "I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold."
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Moments later, the Darksaber ignites, bathing the room in an eerie black glow. The brutal fight that follows instantly reminds viewers why Din is one of Star Wars' most dangerous warriors. It's a perfect reintroduction. Stylish, intimidating, and undeniably cool.
You were born what defeat would bring.
Irrespective of your intentions, provoking Darth Vader is a catastrophic mistake. Reva discovered this truth twice. First when he choked her out of mere irritation, and later when he ruthlessly dispatched her out of sheer boredom. Although Reva planned with immense lifelong motivation, to the Sith Lord, the choking was just another ordinary Tuesday.
I will tolerate your weakness no longer.
He merely viewed her desperate assault as a minor, fleeting amusement. Remarkably, Vader did not even exert 10% of his true capability during this brief, heavily lopsided attack in front of a live audience. This effortless dominance is profoundly terrifying, leaving audiences to ponder the absolute devastation he could easily unleash upon the entire defenseless galaxy if he ever actively chose to cast aside his restraints and completely let himself loose to wreak unmitigated havoc across the entire Star Wars universe.
There can be no mistakes. You're certain the tracker is with him?
Yes, my lord.
Ahsoka wastes no time establishing Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati as major threats. Their first appearance comes aboard a New Republic vessel, where they arrive under false pretenses before revealing their true intentions. Dressed in dark robes and wielding orange lightsabers, the pair immediately stand out from every other Force user in Star Wars. Baylan's calm authority contrasts perfectly with Shin's aggressive intensity, creating a master-apprentice dynamic that feels both familiar and unsettling.
Allow me to show you our identification.
As they cut through the ship's defenders with ruthless efficiency, the audience realizes these aren't ordinary mercenaries. Their entrance is mysterious, intimidating, and instantly makes them some of the franchise's most intriguing villains. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and become a member for early access to our videos.
You're right about one thing, Captain. We are no Jedi.
15. A trusted duo is back in action. Star Wars The Force Awakens 2015. Not sure how people feel about the movie, but this one scene is worth its weight in gold. Han Solo and Chewbacca are both legacy characters in the Star Wars franchise, and people definitely wanted to see more of them because of how iconic they became.
Chewie. We're home.
So, when that trailer for The Force Awakens dropped, we were all ready to spend all our life savings on this movie. And the entrance did not disappoint. It's not flashy or anything, but it is sudden, which works in its favor. Yes, you could argue that it would have been even more effective if they didn't reveal these characters in the trailer, but that's not the point, as we're only discussing how we were all hit with a strong dose of nostalgia seeing Han and Chewbacca back on the big screen.
Where are the others? Where's the pilot?
I'm the pilot.
Luke Skywalker's arrival at Jabba's palace is one of the calmer entrances in Star Wars history. Dressed entirely in black and carrying himself with confidence, Luke walks into the lair of one of the galaxy's most feared crime lords. This isn't the impulsive farm boy from earlier films. Every movement is calm, controlled, and deliberate.
I must speak with Jabba.
He negotiates from a position of strength, casually uses the Force on Jabba's guards, and shows no fear despite being surrounded by enemies. The mystery surrounding his new appearance makes the moment even more powerful. Luke enters as a Jedi Knight, but a lot of us also had our eyes on Leia.
I'm taking Captain Solo and his friends. You can either profit by this or be destroyed.
The very first episode of The Mandalorian perfectly establishes its title character. As a harsh wind blows outside a remote cantina, the doors slide open and a lone armored figure steps inside. Conversations stop. Every eye in the room turns towards him. Without saying much,
Salary, Beskar.
Din Djarin immediately commands attention through his presence alone. The Beskar armor, flowing cape, and hidden face make him feel like a classic gunslinger dropped into the Star Wars universe.
Here.
Soon after, he effortlessly defeats several troublemakers, proving he's more than just a cool silhouette. It's a simple entrance, but one that instantly created a new Star Wars icon.
Have you not? What?
Now, what we have is another peak choice from the OG Star Wars. It's kind of the best last-minute save ever, if you ask me, because Luke Skywalker was cooked until Han Solo came right in the nick of time to steal the glory and save the day. The earlier entry from The Force Awakens was cool and all, but there's no way a bit of fan service can match up to this classic.
Look out!
What makes his entrance so special is the fact that there's so much tension building up right before he shows himself. Even the audience is just sitting there wondering, how the heck is our boy Luke gonna get out of this one? Now, it's obviously not just one man who turns things around, but if it weren't for Han, we'd probably never had any further Star Wars movies.
Master Windu.
Just when it seems Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Padme are about to be executed in the Geonosian arena, salvation arrives from the shadows. Count Dooku's victory is cut short as Mace Windu calmly steps forward and ignites his purple lightsaber directly at Jango Fett's throat. It's an insane and iconic image.
How pleasant of you to join us.
This party's over.
Then, one by one, hundreds of Jedi reveal themselves throughout the arena, surrounding the Separatists. The moment transforms a public execution into the opening battle of the Clone Wars. But it all begins with Mace Windu's entrance, calm, commanding, and fearless. In a single second, he completely shifts the balance of power. The galaxy's most resilient, crimson-skilled Sith masterfully re-establishes his terrifying reputation in this spectacular premiere episode. While oblivious mercenaries go about their business, an undetected predator slips into their midst. The ominous hum of a plasma blade suddenly shatters the silence, casting a brilliant, twin-bladed crimson glow across his famously tattooed countenance. Choosing to remain completely mute, Maul lets his ferocious, predatory intensity do the talking. He navigates combat with blinding acrobatic agility, slicing through the panicked hostiles with a brutal yet elegant choreography that perfectly honors his classic martial arts roots. This exhilarating, action-packed resurgence serves as a powerful reminder of exactly why this relentless dark side warrior remains an enduring, fan-favorite icon within this vast, legendary sci-fi cinematic universe.
Show yourself, Jedi.
Ahsoka's live-action introduction in The Mandalorian is one of the better entrances in modern Star Wars. Before she even appears on screen, the episode builds her up as a legendary warrior. Then, through the dense fog, Imperial guards begin falling one by one. Blaster bolts are deflected back at their shooters, shadows move between the trees, and panic spreads through the ranks. Finally, Ahsoka emerges with her iconic white lightsabers ignited, effortlessly dispatching every opponent in her path. The sequence feels less like the arrival of a Jedi and more like a force of nature stalking its prey. What makes the entrance so powerful is the contrast between elegance and lethality.
I've been expecting you.
Then you know what I want.
She delivers by portraying her exactly as she should be, calm, skilled, and terrifyingly effective. In just a few minutes, she completely steals the episode, but that's as good as it got.
You have one day to decide.
Cad Bane.
And who might you be?
Man, I gotta admit that Cad Bane creeped me out even more than Tom Hardy's Bane. His introduction was more than enough to send shivers down my spine, and then to have him best freaking Cobb Vanth in a standoff was a super effective way to show us how dangerous he really is.
Whatever Fett is paying you, we'll match. And all you've got to do is stay put and let things play out.
It makes even more sense when you know that George Lucas had based him off the iconic angel eyes from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Kinda makes sense too with those shooting skills and that super thick accent. This scene not only introduces us to a kick-ass dude who's definitely going to inspire some spin-off series, but also lays out the base for the rest of the story to kick in.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'd be careful where I was sticking my nose if I were you.
It's pretty well thought out, and serves as one of the stronger times in the show's script. Despite originating within the animated Rebels series, this encounter detracts nothing from Vader's formidable reputation and what followed a cold entrance. Ahsoka deploys her entire arsenal to neutralize him, yet her ultimate achievement amounts to a minor inconvenience, fracturing a small portion of his helmet. The Sith Lord operates nowhere near his maximum capacity, yet he still radiates an almost divine, terrifying dominance.
You have unlocked the secret of the temple. How did you accomplish this?
Beyond his martial prowess, Vader excels at delivering chillingly memorable dialogue mid-combat. His declaration, "You will die braver than most," uttered simply because his adversary refuses to cower, remains one of the most sinister remarks in the entire mythos. Remarkably, this masterclass in tension aired on a Disney animated program, highlighting a glaring absence of the creative passion that so thoroughly crippled the recent live-action cinematic releases.
I don't fear you.
Then you will die braver than most.
For a saga filled with legendary entrances, few are as chilling as Anakin Skywalker's march on the Jedi Temple. Moments after pledging himself to Emperor Palpatine and starting his Darth Vader mode, Anakin leads a column of clone troopers through the heart of Coruscant. There's no triumphant fanfare or dramatic speech, just a cold, relentless advance towards the place that once represented everything he fought to protect. The image is unforgettable. The Chosen One, clad in dark robes, marching at the head of the 501st Legion as the Jedi Temple looms in the distance. The haunting score, the stormy sky, and the silent determination on Anakin's face create an overwhelming sense of dread. What makes the entrance so iconic is the tragic irony. This isn't the arrival of a hero coming to save the day. It's right when a hero becomes the villain and the Jedi Order's downfall truly begins. Now, here's Darth Maul taking a cue from the best by battling against the two main dudes. The main flex here is after entering the scene and fighting, he actually manages to take out one of his opponents, and that too, Liam freaking Neeson. Qui-Gon may not have known the ways of Brian from Taken, but he was a pretty good fighter, so to end him was a crazy flex. Also, Darth Maul is fighting and dominating both Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan here, which should be the highest flex in the Star Wars universe. People may not have appreciated the movie during its release, but most of them did admit that Maul was a great addition to the franchise after the end of Vader. Also, I haven't mentioned it a lot, but Darth Maul's entrance was pretty dope too. It totally complemented the danger level he brought with him. You achieve legendary status the instant you compel the formidable Darth Vader to bend the knee. Emperor Palpatine's arrival in The Return of the Jedi stands as a masterclass in understated menace, completely eschewing cheap theatricality.
Rise, my friend.
The Dark Master simply glides into the docking bay for a casual progress report on the Death Star from an uncharacteristically anxious Vader. One can only imagine the utter bewilderment rippling through the ranks of witnessing stormtroopers as they watch their terrifying commander submit to another soul.
You've done well, Lord Vader. And now I sense you wish to continue your search for young Skywalker.
A display of absolute fealty that would undoubtedly give Game of Thrones' Daenerys Targaryen a massive thrill. Furthermore, Ian McDiarmid's casting remains a stroke of genius, successfully portraying an ancient, decrepit tyrant whilst only 37 years old, before returning 16 years later to play his younger self. The franchise truly is an extraordinary universe, provided you completely disregard the absolute rubbish Disney has pumped out from 2015 onwards.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
The online world collectively lost its mind over this sequence, a reaction that was richly deserved. Din Djarin and his heavily armed strike team found themselves hopelessly cornered aboard the Imperial cruiser, facing imminent slaughter by a relentless squad of dark troopers. Out of nowhere, a solitary X-Wing glides into the hangar, and a cloaked stranger emerges to unleash a whirlwind of emerald fury. This was Luke Skywalker at the peak of his Jedi mastery, executing an entrance worthy of myth. He carves through the formidable combat automatons with staggering ease, imploding their dense armor via the Force as though squeezing flimsy metal cups. This immaculate, cathartic gauntlet serves as a poetic echo of Darth Vader's signature onslaught, only this time, the devastating power is channeled into a rescue mission to shield Grogu from a cold, robotic execution. Universally hailed as the single greatest and most flawless moment in Star Wars cinematic history, this sequence plays out like a pure nightmare. Cornered inside a cramped, pitch-black corridor, panicked rebel soldiers desperately scramble to escape with the stolen Death Star schematics. The blaring alarms abruptly cut out, leaving only the haunting, rhythmic sound of deep, mechanical breathing. When a crimson lightsaber suddenly flares into life in the darkness, the sheer dread takes over. Vader becomes an unstoppable horror movie force. He advances deliberately, effortlessly swatting away blaster fire while ruthlessly cutting through the trapped troops. Unleashing the power of the dark side, he smashes soldiers into the metallic ceiling and telekinetically hurls their own weapons right back at them. It is a display of unadulterated evil, but it stands as a masterpiece of absolute cinema. George Lucas's Star Wars: A New Hope permanently restructured global pop culture, spearheaded by Darth Vader, a figure who fundamentally revolutionized how audiences perceived cinematic villainy. The character instantly amassed a fanatical cult following upon his debut, ensuring that initial terrifying impression counted. Vader requires no dialogue to intimidate. His towering physical presence alone signals to everyone in the room that the supreme authority has arrived. This legendary introduction did far more than establish a menacing antagonist. It crystallized a monumental cinematic legacy. Tragically, that immaculate lore stood firm only until Disney and Lucasfilm executives decided to butcher the franchise with their highly divisive sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Their corporate choices effectively soured the narrative, a trend that unfortunately persisted through the subsequent barrage of uninspired Disney Plus television spin-offs that followed in their wake, much to the dismay of original Star Wars enthusiasts.
If this is a consular ship, where is the ambassador?
Hope you liked the video, so please subscribe to the TV Regent and become a member for early access to new videos.